Steeped in the lavish style of the 60s, CounterSpy is a game that, like every spy operation, it's brilliantly executed, but there's always a flaw, and sometimes it's wrought with issues. You play as a spy working for Counter, a neutral organisation that is trying to stop the nuclear launches of the imperialist states and the Socialist Republic, who plan to send rockets to the moon in a bid to blame each other in a classic Cold War propaganda move. Story is incredibly light, with it barely expanded through small conversations between the player character and Counter. While it would have been nice to see the humour and satire played up a little more, I'm actually rather glad it was kept to a minimum to avoid it getting hammy or, like most video games, just unfunny. It's just so light with any kind of fiction that this alternate Cold War and the personality of the game is sort of lost in the mix. The game tasks you with infiltrating bases of the two factions, balancing the DEFCON levels as you go. You're free to choose which side you want to play, and each time you start up another mission, each base is randomly generated. This makes for fantastic variety, but on PS3 and Vita I found that loading in between rooms actually hitched up the game a little and made the flow of the game stammer for those crucial split seconds, as sometimes the rooms will generate in such a way guards could be on the other side as you walk in. As you explore the bases, you'll destroy computers with secret documents, collect files in exchange for money, and find blueprints or formulas for you to unlock new weapons and powers. While levels are bite-sized chunks and never take longer than 20 minutes unless you're being really slow, it's nice to see the game packed with tons of collectibles to find, because CounterSpy is criminally short. Length in games should never be an issue, but with CounterSpy it's over before you've gotten the chance to even get truly invested. Even if you go out your way to grab everything, you'll probably notice that you've barely spent any time with the game for what it offers. Though, this small focused design makes it a joy to play on the Vita, as you can drop it and pick it up without the hassle of more open games. CounterSpy is about stealth, but it honestly doesn't matter if you ever get caught. The game encourages you to act like James Bond, pull out a silenced pistol and make sure the coast is clear. Caught? Pull out a rifle and take them out, sneaking onto another stealth kill to rack up more points. Close quarters? A quick choke hold or judo chop will make sure that you can carry on. It's slick, and good lord, CounterSpy revels in giving you that satisfaction of one versus many. Though getting caught does have one consequence. That DEFCON level. It's presented as lingering over you the whole time you're playing, as guards will call in on the radio or cameras that catch you will raise the level higher. You can lower it by making officers surrender or taking a particular formula in on the mission, but as it raises higher and reaches a critical point, the game suddenly becomes this hectic rush to reach the launch computer and bring an end to their evil ways. It's the DEFCON level stuff that's the most disappointing. It entices you in with what could have been, that worry, the frantic nature of making sure one side isn't too angry or another one isn't too paranoid. Instead, it never really goes anywhere and barely affects the game's outcome, other than where the final mission will take place. Guards aren't on higher alert or more protected, it's just an empty threat, a bluff. While it's a shame the DEFCON mechanic is vastly underused and underdeveloped, the rest of CounterSpy is simple in all the right ways. Precise shooting and basic stealth isn't a bad thing, as it works so damn well. While the game has a handful of glitches, poor frame rates plague the Vita and at times the PS3 version, or AI on the guards being a little iffy at times, the game itself never gets in the way of just giving you this 60s spy adventure. CounterSpy's look and presentation is something I wanted poured all over me. The rounded view of that old CRT that you could imagine embedded in a thick hunk of metal, and that art style. It hits the nail on the head so well, I just wanted more of it. I wanted to see where it go outside of nuclear launch facilities. It teases this with outside areas and never lets you go there, and it's brutally painful. You hurried through these gorgeous outside views, and all I wanted to do was take a moment to explore them. It's magnificent, but perfection is what it could have been. However, while the look is almost perfected, the music is oddly absent. It's there in menus or during particular moments of gameplay, but for the most part CounterSpy is oddly vacant of any music, and that's wrong, especially since this is the 60s. CounterSpy isn't without its issues, but in the very short time it gives to spend with its marvellously precise gameplay and snazzy presentation, CounterSpy is an absolute joy to be with. It's like being the romantic interest in a Bond movie, where you're treated like royalty but it's all over too quickly for you to get properly attached.